Welcome to the Tile Happy Hour. It is Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know where you are, but that's where I am. I'm on the East Coast in Raleigh, North Carolina, and tonight is Tile Happy Hour night. If you weren't around last week was a rerun weekend, and we had a great show that we put out there for you, just reran it for you. But tonight, if you'll notice anything different, I'm all by myself. John Tedesco is off on assignment, and that sounds official, but I really don't know what he's doing. But I know he was busy tonight and could not make it. But I wanted to be here because next week I'm going to be in Panama, and I'm not going to be able to be here. So who knows what's in store for you next week. But you have stumbled onto the Tile Happy Hour, wherever you're watching from. If you see, I've got screens all around me here, and we are broadcasting live on my favorite channel, which is my YouTube channel. That's Tile the World. I've got you live on my Instagram Live, the Tile Nerd Army. Give me a shout out if you're part of the Tile Nerd Army. And I actually have got a dual screen in front of me on my phone for TikTok. And I don't know how it sounds or what it looks like because it's actually not broadcast through our streaming service. It's just on a phone here. So I've got it set up. But I wanted tonight to be, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on a rerun, a audience participation night. So let's start off with where you're watching from. So I said it before, I am in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so therefore I am broadcasting from Raleigh, North Carolina. And where are you? Where are you watching it from? If you're on TikTok, just drop it in the comments. I'd love to say hello to you. And on the other services, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, X, all those places, let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching on a rerun, I still want to hear from you. If you're, that's where most of our views come. It comes after the fact, and that's on our YouTube channels. John's is the Tile channel, and mine is the Tile the World, because that's what that's always been my slogan for the longest time, is Tile the World. And just drop in the comments. I want to hear from you. I've been getting a lot of comments lately, and I've been kind of plugging this episode. Shout out to Megan Hendrick for correcting my grammar. I don't feel good about that, but yet it needed to be done. I was not an English major. I'm a construction management major. So therefore we point and say point and do, typing and getting other stuff. English site stuff is not my strong suit. So thanks, Megan, for pointing out that I put advice and I mixed advice and advise. At least it was an actual word. So thanks for that. So tonight is going to be all about, I kind of requested over the last few weeks, because I knew this was going to happen and we were going to do this, some people to submit some questions. And I've got some really cool examples that have come in, and with some pictures that we're going to talk through together. I'm hoping that everybody's going to participate and be a part of the conversation. And it's not just me, but that's okay. We're here. It's the Tile Happy Hour. Anything and everything you want to talk about tile, that's what we're here for this evening, Tuesday, January the 30th. Last week, the reason we didn't broadcast live last week is I was at the International Surfaces event in Las Vegas. Now, that was the first time I'd ever been to that conference. Conference? No, I don't know that's the right word. Conference. I can't think of. Anyway, the event called the Surfaces event. It was at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, which is a beautiful place. And a lot of vendors there. I saw a lot of colleagues there. I was excited to meet up with some of my tile bar colleagues and get to hang out with them, and then saw some vendors. Shout out to Caladad Tools. Got to spend some time with them, and Blanque, got to walk around with them a little bit. And Great event. There was a ton of soft flooring there, which is a lot different than what I'm used to. I'm used to the coverings event, which is mainly tile and stone. But it was fun to be a part of that with Jeremy Solomon, who is on the Tile Bar team and in charge of our soft flooring, and to see the differences in the two, how they're presented. A lot of the same, but still some differences. So it was nice to be in Vegas last week and to be a part of that. But we're going to jump right in to a couple of questions that came across the wire this week. So, and I actually have some things. I'm going to pull them up on the screen here. And those of you that can see that, this is a question I get a lot. And if you're seeing the screen here, what you're seeing is an L cut on a 24 by 48 tile. Now, what's happened over the last several years is tiles have gotten humongous. And now where it used to be when I started in the industry, an 8 by 8 was kind of the standard size. And now I would dare say, what do you think? 24 by 24 is the standard size. But as things are growing, you can't use the same techniques that maybe you've been doing. As us construction guys hear all the time is, I've been doing that this way for 25 years. Well, that doesn't work, especially when you're going into something that is this large. You can't cut this tile the same way you cut a 12-inch or even an 18 by 18 tile. It is very heavy and very large. And if you see, and I'm pointing at it on my screen, but I have an arrow there. It shows a crack there. So L cuts are always tricky because L cut, you're cutting this piece of tile and you're creating a weak spot at that corner. And that weak spot, any little bit of movement can cause that tile to fracture. Is that a tile issue? No, not necessarily. Can it be? Maybe. But most of the time, it is a support issue. And the question I get a lot of time from my staff and from the clients out there is, how do I cut this big tile? So I'll give you a couple of my rules of thumb. When you have a tile like this, you want to cut it and you want it to be fully supported. So what does that mean? That means you need a really big wet saw, or you cut it by hand with a grinder when it's fully supported on the ground. And I actually had a video on my YouTube channel about how to do this. And I found that it was really helpful to set it on a piece of foam board, which I set it on a piece of the Hydraband board. And then I marked out my lines and I used my 3-inch cutter to cut the L shape. Now, that does a couple of different things. It gets it fully supported on the floor, whether it's concrete or whatever. The foam kind of absorbs some of the vibrations, and it also fully supports the tiles. So where I have seen people fail is they try to cut this tile on a wet saw with a table that may only be able to support an 18 by 18. And what happens is part of that tile is leaning off or hanging off the edge. And when it hangs off the edge like that, it creates undue stress. And while you're cutting it and the undue stress, there's a weak point and it fractures there. And I don't think that's what happened here. I think what happened here is they got it cut fine, but then they installed it. And you look at that L cut is hanging over an opening, which is creating a stress point in the weak point. And the weight of that tile that's above that jamb, and I'm using hand motions, even though you can't see that, that's above that jamb is pulling down on that tile, which it's already it has a cut in it. So therefore there's a weak spot, and the weight of that side has pulled it and it's caused a fracture. So when you're dealing with a tile that's large, keep these things in mind. Support your tile. Make sure you're cutting with a good blade, and that good blade has been dressed or is new. And I like to use the procedure of doing a kind of a pass where you're not cutting all the way through. There's a lot of pressure when you're trying to cut the full thickness of the tile. I like to do a score and then do a cut through. Those tips will help you save those tiles. And you're thinking that one piece of tile, I mean, that's 8 square feet. And just think, if you're paying $10 a square foot for that tile, that's an $80 loss. So we want to be careful with large format tiles. Some other things that I'll say about this is, let's just talk about the waterproofing here. I'm not sure the situation, because this was the only part of the picture that was given to us, but it doesn't look like it is sufficiently waterproofed. That is a Red Guard. If you're familiar with Customs Red Guard, it is a good product. When installed correctly, it works well. But number one, it has to be fully covered. If that's a shower on the other side of that wall, where the failure is, that is not waterproof. There's a minimum thickness that you need to achieve when you're doing a liquid applied waterproofing. That does not meet it. You can clearly read the Duroc letters through there. And that was the rule of thumb that I would give to some of my teams, is like, listen, if you can read the lettering on the wallboard behind the liquid applied waterproofing, it is not thick enough. So I would say you need a couple of more coats at least on that wall to make it waterproof or acceptable if that is a shower. I'm not 100% sure that it is a shower. What else do we see in this picture? If you look above the window, there's a joint. It looks like the Duroc returns back to that window. I can see that joint is not taped or finished, which means there's a possibility for a crack there. There's obviously going to be a grout joint there. It should be a caulk joint, because anytime you change planes, you should put a soft joint. Since that is not properly prepared, probably going to have a failure there also. Same thing with the bottom. The bottom of the window kind of looks like it may have been prepped, but it looks a little sketch. So Esther, thanks for sending in that pic and asking for some help. We love to help out and see what's going on. We got a question here from Facebook user. Why is latex modified thin set replaced with polymers, and why is it a secret? Why is latex modified thin set replaced with polymers, and why is it a secret? I'm not sure what they mean by that, but let's describe latex modified thin set real quick. A latex modified thin set is the common thin set that we all use. And this thin set is, back in the day, before it was thin set, it was just cement and water and sand. To make it stronger and more sticky, we started adding polymers and glues to the thin set. And Laticrete was the first one on in the market to make that happen, where they had their 4237, I believe is what it is. And they added those to that mixture, which made it stronger. Latex modified is polymer. So latex is a polymer. I think, I'm not sure what secrets they're keeping, but all of the setting material manufacturers like to keep secrets on how much latex and what types of latex that is. I'm not sure if that's the answer to that question, but just know different tiles require different thin sets. Just like we're looking at the 24x48 tile, that tile requires a large and heavy tile mortar. And that's the abbreviation is LHT. Years ago, it used to be called a medium bed mortar. What's up, Jose? Good to see you. Haven't talked to you in a while. Large and heavy tile mortar is kind of the go-to nowadays, just because any tile that has an edge over 15 inches is considered a large and heavy tile. So you need to have that designation. Anybody wants to throw the ANSI, I think it's 118.5, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And I don't have my ANSI book right here, but that is, once you get past a certain level of latex and polymers, that gives you enough strength and to be a old school medium bed mortar, but what we call that now is large and heavy tile mortar. I'll just plug Tile Bar for a minute. All the mortars that we carry at Tile Bar are large and heavy tile, except for our glass tile mortar. The great thing about these mortars, like Trilite is kind of my go-to. They can be used for a glass tile all the way up to the large and heavy tile. They kind of do dual duty. And yes, I said duty. But thanks for that question, Facebook user. Sometimes when you send me a question, your name doesn't come across. I don't know why. What's up, Teresa? Good to see you. DeRossi, Kevin Barber. Thanks for all those that are on TikTok tonight. And let's go to the next question. Next question that we had come in, it was from Nathan. So Nathan, if you're seeing the picture on your screen, Nathan is having some issues cutting this fluted tile, and the fluted, I don't think the fluted format, let's say the 3D attributes of this tile, is causing the issue, but this looks like it may be a crackle finish. And a lot of times you'll see the crackle finish at the edge of the tile flake off. If you've installed any of it, you know that to be true. And there's a couple of things you can do to prevent that and kind of minimize that look. Pardon. One of the things is, once again, your equipment is critical. Your blades are critical, and you want to make sure that you're not using an old blade. You want to make sure that your blade is not dull. The first trick I like to tell people is to put down some tape. Sometimes the tape helps keep that crackle intact. I also like the method of just doing a quick pass where you're not trying to cut all the way through the tile at one time, and you're doing a quick pass to kind of score the top of that tile. Maybe a little more difficult with this fluted tile because it does have ridges and valleys, but that will help you kind of save that face of the tile. The other thing is, sometimes it's trial and error, right? When we're doing these things, it may work for one tile and not for another, because every tile is a little bit different, not all the same. So water helps. Don't use a segmented blade. A continuous diamond blade is helpful. And let me just say, if you are familiar with Caladad's blades, I've tested those on a lot of our segments here, and great results. Even in a crackle tile that was chipping on some of my less expensive and older blades, the Caladad blades came out and cut a really great line. But I will say, no matter what you use, keep a rubbing stone handy, because once you cut it and you get this flaking, even if it's that bad, you can minimize it by using a rubbing stone. I think this is, in my opinion, this would not be acceptable. I think we can do better than that. Sometimes cutting the tile upside down. So a lot of different things to try. But when you have a crackle tile finish, you're going to expect to have to do a little bit of trial and error and try to figure it out. but I do suggest a Caladad blade. Those Caladad blades are really slick and kind of push through like butter. So Nathan, thanks for that question and submitting that. And I hear it a lot. And be careful with crackle tile when you're grouting it. Just a little side note. Crackle tile, I actually got a note today that a contractor was setting the crackle tile, and they were marking their tiles with one of those Milwaukee markers, and the ink from the marker got in between the crackle. And I'm sorry to say there's nothing you can do about that. It's there, and you've got to replace that tile. And so be careful with crackle tile. Also, when you're grouting it, I suggest using a grout release or pre-sealing your crackle tile. This will help you save you from getting that stain or whatever absorbed. All right. If you don't know where you are listening to the Tile Happy Hour. John Tedesco, we wish him well. He's not here tonight. He's on assignment out there in the world, and it is just me. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Craig, and I was I worked I say I was a commercial tile setter. I actually was in the office. I wasn't on my knees day in and day out. Now, I've done my fair share, but I did work for a large tile company in the Southeast for 16 years. I had my own company for a few years, and now I am here just trying to give out the information that I have got locked in here. And my goal in life is to help your tile be better, your installation be better, and the things that happen in the industry. So you have stumbled onto the Tile Happy Hour, and I think I got a surprise coming up. Got one more question before we're going to jump on this. So Chris sent this question in: can I tile this curve? That's a common question that I get, and yes and no, and it depends. So I don't remember when in the email he sent, he did not, Chris didn't tell me what size tile it was. And that is critical when you're tiling a curve. You know anything about a curved wall? And if you've tried to ever put something flat on a curved wall, then you know that there's gaps. So there's two things you got to think of: the size of the tile and the radius of the curve. If you've got a really tight radius, odds are you're not going to be able to install a tile on it unless it's really, really tiny. So the larger the radius, the larger the tile can be. The smaller the radius, the teeny tiny the tile can be. So when you see these columns in hotels that are maybe 2 foot around, and they've got these 5/8 by 5/8 tile around there, that works fine. But if you tried to put a 3-inch tile there, it wouldn't work. It would be very segmented, and it almost, instead of looking like a cylinder, it would look like a hexagon, and it would be just crapped up. So the thing is, yes, you can tile a curve, but you need to take into account the radius. The tighter the radius, the smaller the tile. So those are things that you can think of. Chris, thanks for that question. Appreciate you dropping that in. And I don't know if you guys remember one of our most popular episodes that we had in last year, I believe it was in December, maybe in November, December last year, is we actually talked to a DIY YouTuber who was working on his own personal master bathroom himself, because he's a DIYer. That's what he does. His name was Josh. Everybody kind of got invested in Josh, and really, I don't know if they fell in love with him, but there's a lot of talk and questions about that. And so when I knew I was going to be on alone tonight, I sent Josh a text, see if we could get an update. And so I'd like to welcome Josh to the show. Josh, what's happening? How are you?
Doing good,
it's
man.
going great. John, we don't know where John is. John's on assignment. I keep saying that like he's a CIA agent, and he may be. I don't know.
He's at the real bar? The real tile bar?
He may be at the real tile bar. Look at you. You like updated your look there.
I try to get as much stuff on the counter as I could in the background. I need to get something moving like you got.
Yeah,
official.
Yeah, you can't even hardly see it though. But Josh, thanks for jumping on. I have the package you sent me, so I've got some of those things queued up.
Receive the package.
But tell us how it's going.
All right. I feel like you lit a fire under me, and now I have to put that fire out, basically.
Yes.
The fire is actually in the bathroom right now. I today feel like I have completed what you would call demo of everything that was there. So, I just brought out the shop vac this afternoon and sucked up those last pieces of crap that have been all over the place. It felt pretty good, and it's been a lot of work so far.
Yeah, did we sugarcoat it for you, or did we give you accurate information about how bad the demo was going to be?
So it was kind of in the middle. Actually, you sound like So when I took it apart, you were saying there was going to be some type of metal lath under there.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you can see it in the pictures I sent you. I think it was fiberglass. So I feel like I lucked out in that aspect, right? There was like two pieces around the frame that were like the worst to get out, and they had metal lath. So I know I had it somewhere.
Yeah.
What did I find? What was that?
I noticed that, and that was very odd. Here, hold on. Let me. I don't know which video it is. Let me.
You can't pull it up. I can just go pull it out of the wall.
No. I have the video. Let's just hit this video and see if it's the right one.
That wasn't it.
With both of these. Face.
So this is you kind of get the ceiling down. I think you can unmute your mic, which is crazy.
That is what I didn't want to hit me in the head.
Yeah. So maybe you'll see it here. So this is pulling out one of the walls.
I don't know, Nick.
Yeah, I got my son to film, so that's us talking. Perfect. This is what we see.
Oh, no.
Put your son in harm's way. I like it.
Yeah, so you see, I need to. I wish I was like a freeze frame it or whatever, but yeah,
I was looking for a pause button. It looked like it looked like cement board. Was it not cement board?
So yes, that wall there, I guess, was cement board.
Okay.
So what was that? And there was thin set on top of that, right?
Yeah.
So what is normally behind the cement board?
So cement board is a proper substrate, but behind the cement board, you're supposed to have a vapor barrier, which is normally plastic.
Gotcha. I didn't have that. That was definitely not there.
Yeah, that is probably one of the most skipped parts of the installation. I see that a lot, and it didn't look like there was any waterproofing on. Like it would have gone cement board, waterproofing, thin set tile. I didn't see any waterproofing at all, other than your blue pan.
I feel like I saw the what I'll call fiberglass on the back side of that backer board. So is that a normal thing? It's like kind of a mesh tape thing. I don't know. It wasn't lath, so I was happy about that.
Yeah. I was very surprised at that because I completely expected that whole bathroom to be lath and mud, but it looks like it was only the jams.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. So maybe that's where I found it, around that like end cap or whatever cap crazy looking circle part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the worst to get out. Right
Around
here,
here, which it's already gone now, but
yeah.
but at the curb and the walls was the only part there was lath.
Yeah.
And then you see your waterproofing here, which is the blue pan.
Yeah, is that the chloraloid thing that you said before? Or
Yeah, that's a brand, but yes, same thing.
Okay.
It's called it's just a typical rubber pan, and that is used all over everywhere. But yes, there should have been plastic that ran down the wall and would hang in that chloraloid pan.
Oh, gotcha. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So you're telling me the walls themselves were not waterproofed. It's just basically the bottom.
Correct. And
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't look like you have any water damage.
No. There was only one place in this, like the bottom right-hand corner of this. Oh no, there you go. There's the one stick that was wet.
Aha.
Out of the whole thing.
And it was at the curb, right?
Yeah, that's right there on the curb.
Normally that is kind of the weakest point of the installation, is right there at the curb, because you got so many different angles that are coming together.
Right.
And water just will find its way in.
There was like 3 layers of that stuff kind of stapled to, like where they all folded, and then they just like knocked a few of those what looked like roofing nails in there.
Yep. And that is right. I mean, that's how you do that. Now there's better ways now, but I'm getting a lot of comments. No red guard.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean,
that's cement. That's the way to do it. Thanks, Pale. He's given us some good comments. Most likely 5/8 was the board 5/8 or was it 1/2 inch?
Oh gosh, I would say 5/8. It was thicker than, but most of the time when I was pulling it off, it was like a mixture of tile and board and
which is the easiest way to get rid of it. And but you've done the hard part, it looks like.
Yeah, dude, that was it.
What were you showing me here?
That was there. Remember when we first called, I was like, yeah, can you guess where this rust came from? And you said, yeah, it's the toilet bolts, or the toilet bolts rusting, right? So I got kind of a funny story. So you're right. It was leaking from the tank bolts that just like they're rusted to death, and it made its way down here. And this is like one of the bolts, and this one bolt took me like an hour to get out.
Were you trying to save the toilet, or at least not tear it apart before you?
You know, I had in my mind that someone would want it, but that was absolutely wrong. But as I was carrying it down the stairs, the top of it broke off. Those two like tank to bolts. Tank to bowl bolts just snapped off and fell right at the bottom of the stairs. I was like, awesome. Nobody wants it for real now. So
So let's see.
That your information was prophetic in how much work it was, like all the stuff coming out. Like once I got to the bottom and I had to chip out all that just concrete, it was just like, is this for real? Like, is this really how showers work? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. That the bottom of the shower pan that's got, I mean, it's probably 2 inches of mud in there, and it was probably, I'm assuming it was held together with wire. So there was wire in there, which makes it 10 times more difficult to get out, because then it all wants to hang together. And
it was brutal.
Yeah. So much harder than doing the entire bathroom floor, I bet.
Yeah. So that video I sent, that tile was not fit. Very good.
I forget that it mutes us when I do that, but
oh shoot, sorry. The chipping hammer is the best invention ever made. Saved me so much work.
Oh,
But
yeah,
those I could have like popped those up with a toothpick or something. They were so like loose, and there was no thin set, and it was like some type of adhesive or something. I don't know. Like
From the picture, and I don't have the picture that you texted me.
there you
Yeah.
go.
It looks like
It's like
I don't
glue
know, that
or
one.
something.
That one kind of looks like thin set, but you sent me one, and the telltale sign of adhesive is that sometimes it'll turn brownish color.
Okay.
And I think one of the ones you sent me was kind of that brownish color, and
Yeah.
I was like, I think they used a glue.
Is
And
that common, or is that like
it's
last
a no
minute?
no. It's a no no. There's in the residential world, it's done a lot more, but you just got to think, what are glues made out of? Glues are made out of organic material, and what does organic material do? It molds. So they have now today some non-mold or mold-free adhesives, but when your house was built,
Okay.
I've seen a lot of them that, and yours didn't look like it had any mold growing, which means it was a pretty dry system altogether, which is good. But if there had been any water in there, it just would have grown all sorts of
that'd be gross. Yeah, no,
good stuff. And
it was badly put down because it was already shaking and stuff. And now that same installation carried into right in front of the shower, so that didn't hold any water, or it let water go straight through. So I found, right in front of my shower, the subfloor looks like this, where it's like kind of bowed up. So
swollen. Yeah.
yeah.
And you sent me a drawing. Let's see. Tell me about this. Is this before or after?
No, this is one of so when I was on the show, one of your friends asked, got my information, and drew up a plan, and I just want to show that the plan did, I kind of changed it a little bit, but yeah, in my original design, that little shower was tiny, and Ava said, "Hey, why don't you expand into your office closet and your bedroom closet and make a mega shower, right? And then you can still have the tub back again." So it's an idea we're kicking around. I really liked it, and I completely didn't even think about moving walls, because originally I was going to just say take the shower and put it. I think I have another picture where it says like no tub or something, but like just take where the tub is and make a big shower. So I don't know. We're between ideas. I think I've hit the point in the demo where I need someone to tell me what walls can go and what walls can stay. I've done some research, but I think I would like, some opinions on that. So I don't know. The plan is to get some.
You're talking about it to see if there are any load-bearing walls.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up that other drawing. Let's see. Is this the other drawing?
That was just saying shower for tub. So in this one, we made big shower in the corner and move the toilet into like where my shower that I just demoed is. So
okay, gotcha.
It's two different things. I mean, I know John, when we were talking before, John was like, "Do you want to keep a tub?" And I was like, and he was like, "Yeah,
if I come stay at your house, I need a tub because I like a tub nap."
Yeah, exactly. You said you took like a tub nap or something, right?
I take it. It's weird. I don't know. My wife calls it. She says I like my soap soup, which is kind of gross, but I do enjoy a tub bath. I'll tell you what. I was in Vegas last week, and I actually had a tub that had a window over the strip.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I took a tub bath.
Did you?
In a hotel tub. I know it's gross. Probably, sorry, too much.
Was it one of those like see-through mirror windows, or was it like one of those ones where it's the big, block,
It probably was see-through, I'm guessing. I don't know. It had blinds on it. I didn't care. I was
it was truly the Vegas Strip. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. It was the Vegas Strip, and I was the lead act on the 51st floor of the Cosmopolitan.
Oh gosh!
But
Oh gosh.
Well, yeah, that was a really cool thing that Nava jumped in, and she is a friend of John's and a designer. So thanks, Nava, for jumping in on
Yeah.
that. And so let's pull that back up. So this is just looking at it. All the walls are where they are now currently.
Yeah, actually, it's drawn badly, but yes, this is like if I changed nothing. That toilet room would actually be a little bit smaller.
Gotcha.
I think I actually, had the same like concept or whatever. But yeah, that's if I move no walls, I guess.
Gotcha.
So
And what walls would you want to move?
that office closet, it's
Uh-huh.
like I'd have to crunch it, like, knock down the back of it, so just
Gotcha.
make it smaller. I mean, it'd still work. It wouldn't be any less of a closet. It would just be smaller. So,
Okay.
but yeah, she put together a pretty cool design for me on it. I should have sent like her drawing this like actually in AutoCAD, but I just kind of threw this one together today.
No, that's fine.
In
That's fine.
Visio.
That's cool.
But yeah, it just goes to show you that like I didn't even think about doing that. So it was a great idea. But yeah, now now I'm in the planning phase. So picking out tile and trying to figure stuff out. So yeah, I don't know how long you want me to be on here, man.
No,
like,
yeah, man.
I could ask you 100 questions right now.
Ask me questions. That's fine. Let's see. I accident. No, I didn't. So we talked about that picture. We talked about that picture. We talked about that and that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I was muted during the thing. So the reason I did the top first was because I watched enough videos to see that shower, ceiling come down.
Yeah.
I was like, I am going to make sure that comes down first before I get in there. So that's why you saw me. I mean, I feel like that's probably not what you're supposed to do. You probably just start drilling stuff. But I was like, I want to get that thing down first.
Nah,
So
it was. I don't know if there's any right or wrong way to demo a shower, but and was that board that was the shower ceiling? Was it the same Durock material as
the
walls?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. It was crumbly. It was like, you could hear it crunching. It was just like.
And what's above you? Is it the attic?
So yeah, the attic. Yeah, that's right above, and there I think above in the attic there's an AC unit. So
okay,
it's like I can't go any further up.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way. I think you were doing the demo the way anybody would. You just kind of hold your breath and go in there and just make it happen.
Yeah, just kill it.
Did you get this your chlorloy off the floor, and how does that subfloor look?
I think I sent you another picture, but it might have been after I sent the link. The subfloor looks like there is some leaks. If you have that Dropbox file folder, you could find it in there. But so it's not bad. It's nowhere as wet as that stick was. Oh yeah, there's the fiberglass thing I was talking about. That's the mesh. So is that what backer board looks like?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what holds it together. So that's the fiber mesh that they actually pour the concrete into and holds it together. So yeah, cool. That is part of the board.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a slight amount of discoloration on the subfloor around the drain, and that's it. So I think just a little tiny bit got through, or it could have been when they were like, testing it or something, and just got wet. So I think if it was like damage, I would know.
Well, yeah, you would definitely know. It would smell,
right?
For once, and it would be soft. If it's not soft, you're probably okay to let it dry out and just keep it.
Okay. Cool.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that. And those pans normally, like you said, you got that leak in the corner, and if that was the only piece that was soft and gooey, then you're okay to go from there.
Yeah. If you want to talk,
what other
choices, questions? I can send you some tile choices I'm looking at. I have a question on one of the specific tiles on Tile Bar site that I like, but I don't know if it's okay to use.
Okay, let me
I just sent
find.
you an email about it. So I don't know how much you want me to talk, but yeah, there's like
Yeah,
there's a lot
tell
of
me the series name.
The series is Cirque, CIRQUE. I think that's it, or maybe that's the
CIR.
the brand.
Oh, Cirque. Okay. Hold on. I'll pull it onto the screen here.
Is the Cirque stainless 3/4 inch penny round? Oh
This
you
guy
know I'm a
right
huge
here.
metal fan, so you know.
Well, who's not? Metallica rules.
Me and my wife are hotly debating if this is a good idea or not. Could this go on a shower floor, or is it dangerous?
I don't think it's dangerous. And I'm looking at this for the first time. I don't know.
Put you on
Now
the spot.
here's one of the things. It says wall only.
Oh
So-
my gosh! Wow! I didn't look. I did not read the spec sheet.
So what leads me to believe, and the reason, so it is actual metal, which is pretty cool.
Oh, is it?
That's what it
shoot.
says. Material is stainless steel.
Oh, dang.
So
Okay, then maybe I went a little too avant-garde with this one, man.
yeah, which
I
is
thought
why
it was because it has the word. Oh wait, I guess it doesn't. I thought I saw like a tiley word in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is actually
Well, that's
metal. So the reason it's probably not recommended for the shower is because it's probably extremely slippery.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was
Um,
gonna say rusting, but I guess it's stainless.
And who knows what grade of stainless it is, but yeah, I would advise against that.
All right. Step 1: read the intended
Instructions. Yeah.
specifications.
Yeah.
Do you want to look at the other one? We have a second
Yeah.
for floor. Maybe you'll tell me it's bad too. Eden Black Hexagon is what it is. Eden 2.0.
See, I like these. These are kind of that traditional look or old school looking mosaics. And I can pretty much guarantee you that those are okay for floor and wall.
Floor/wall. Okay. So if it says floor, that could be shower floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I bet down here like says tile use.
Oh,
You
nice.
see that? Yeah,
Man, this site is great.
Hey, thanks.
I should just use it. I did use the I really thought this was really cool that the thing up at the top where you can take a picture and put it on your wall that's bonkers.
Yeah,
Like-
that the 3D imager thing.
Yeah. Like I took a
Yeah.
picture of my wife sitting on the couch and I put it like on the wall behind her couch. It was like, what is this technology? It's crazy, man.
I will
All right.
say Tile Bar does a really good job, and our the things that we use on the website to try to help you design at home are pretty cool. And I mean, we even have, for anybody out there listening, we have people that'll design it for you, that you just call in and give them the information, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll lay that out for you. And Josh, if that's something you want to do, I can put you in contact with one of our in-house designers. You can send them that little scratch of paper, and and they'll do it for you. And there's a couple of good things about that is they won't pick out a tile for you that is not meant to go where it's supposed to go.
Dang it! I'm gonna have to put that metal one somewhere though. Like it's got to go somewhere.
Hey, do it behind your vanity, maybe on the wall behind the vanity.
Okay.
Hang the mirrors on it. I think that would look cool. I mean,
I'll take it.
Metal is metal.
So the other thing I thought you were gonna say was because this one's polished, like the slippery factor. Like, how do you figure out how slippery something is, other than just touching it?
Yeah, there's and you're gonna think I'm lying. Hey Don, I'm sorry you had to run. It was good to see you. I do look forward to seeing you at coverings. Sorry, I had to say.
You're
Um,
good.
you're not gonna believe that this is an actual thing, but it's the Bot 3000.
Oh my gosh, what does that mean?
That is an actual testing equipment. That is the ASTM test for
Okay.
dynamic coefficient of friction. And
Bot
that is kind of
3000.
the rule of thumb that tile nerds use for deciding on slipperiness. Now, there's some caveats to that. It can't be used on a mosaic because the surface area isn't great enough to
Gotcha.
actually get a good reading. But what we know about slipperiness normally is when there's a barrier between your foot and whatever you're walking on. So just like black ice or when you hydroplane on the road, there's a small barrier of water and it causes you to slip. Same thing happens with tile. But the good thing about mosaics, they have natural channels for that water to go away. And so
Okay.
mosaics, just by nature and how they're made, are not very slippery.
Okay.
Now, one thing to know about slip resistance is slipperiness is subjective. I may think
Okay.
something is really slippery, and my wife may say, "You're an idiot. Wuss, just walk." So
People
but-
have different slippery feetedness.
right. But when you get into commercial installations and stuff like that, there is a number, and that's that's what's called DCOF, and you measure it by the Bot 3000. And
Bot
but
3000.
the-
I'm
and it
imagining
does
a
sound fake.
gigantic robot that's like they push onto a tile floor and he does like the cartoon run in place like slippery move.
Yeah, it's actually I think about the size of a lunchbox, and it looks like a stainless steel lunchbox, but it looks like it's from the 50s. It's like we figured out how to do fusion, and this is the machine.
It's the Bot 3000.
The Bot 3000. I just wonder if they had a 1000 and a 2000. I don't know, but no
iteration.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this would be perfect for a shower floor or the bathroom floor.
Okay, I guess that's probably what we're gonna go with it instead of the metal.
I like, hey, we'll find somewhere to use the metal, but yeah. So what are you thinking about for the walls?
So for the shower walls, my favorite one, and I don't know, maybe it's a bad idea, is the Montauk one.
Yeah.
It's a subway tile, but it looks like it's got kind of like a texture on it. And my plan is just to sit and put my whole body across the tiles and go like this and just feel the texture.
It is. I
really
actually have this.
Oh wow!
Yeah. We have this tile in our guest bath.
Okay.
And it's a great tile. We have, I think, the sky blue, maybe, I don't know, one of the colors. But it's a great wall tile. Great use.
Yeah, I think we're going like the fog one, and then probably the plan in the bathroom is to try to use as little white grout as possible. Is that a good idea?
Yep.
Just for not cleaning white grout.
Yeah. As much gray grout as you can stomach.
Yeah. Okay. What about
gray
black?
grout?
Is black grout like problematic?
Black grout can be tricky. And if you want to use black grout, I would suggest our I'm gonna pull it up. I would suggest our Spectralock 1.
Okay.
Of course, it's not
Piece of
coming
paper.
up. It's all right. We can figure it out.
Spectralock.
Spectralock is a urethane based grout. Of course, it's not going to come up here. One thing about black grout is sometimes it can have whiteness to it. Now, most of the high end, I don't know why Spectralock's not on the website. I didn't even make a note of that. Sometimes the higher in the grout, the less chance you have of it chalking out and having a white substance on the thing.
Okay.
But I mean, seriously, we can help you get a good deal on what you need and try to help you out and get you the right materials and tile bar delivered right to your house.
Yes, and I'll put it right on the wall. Bam.
Bam.
Yeah. So Spectralock. Okay. I'll take a look at the colors and stuff. But yeah, that was just when we were putting it together. But the other problem you run into with that is you either have to, if you do black grout, that means you got to do like a white tile for the most, or a lighter tile, right? So to kind of, I don't know, so you don't have just the whole room, darkened by grout and tile being dark.
I would say, definitely the darker it is, the smaller the room feels. And one of my suggestions is try to match your tiles the best you can. If you've got the black tile and that hexagon and you want it to have some sort of contrast, I would try a medium gray grout. That way it'll give you a little bit of contrast without having a solid black floor.
Gotcha.
And then with the gray walls, hey, if you want it to look uniform, just gray on gray, and then it looks good. But
yeah,
once again, I can't match my clothes, so don't trust me.
Right.
We can definitely get Kiki is my go-to designer in New York, and she's amazing. And you tell her what you like, and I'm sure she can design you up something nice.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that's, like I said, we're just getting into it like this week, kind of putting it together because we're, still trying to figure out what walls are going to move. So we're kind of waiting for a little bit, but
yeah.
In the meantime,
you should be able to look in the attic to tell if it's a load-bearing wall. If there's nothing sitting on perpendicular across the wall in the ceiling,
okay,
it's and running from end to end, it's normally not a load-bearing wall.
Gotcha.
I've got a book over here see that blue book? It says carpentry.
Nice.
ECU gave me that for when I graduated. So
here you go, diploma and carpentry.
Here, keep this. You can build anything out of that book right there. But yeah, that's a good idea. Moving stuff around. You guys are not leaving anytime soon, so make it like you want it.
Yeah. I think the big idea right now was, do we keep a tub or we put a tub in there? Like that's kind of the main thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then
I'm
not super. You like the tub, obviously.
I vote tub.
I'm not super into like all the new tubs too. Like I don't know, like freestanding tub. I need to go test out a few of them before I go buy it. Go sit down
because they're not cheap. They're expensive.
Yeah, they are really expensive.
You can't find a freestanding tub for like less than $1,000.
Yes, and then to get the big old ginormous faucet that comes in, that's like coming off the floor as well. Those are
expensive
too. A sink, a kitchen sink is like this big, and they're like $200 or $300. Like when you go even bigger, it's crazy. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on the freestanding tub too. So who knows, man?
What I have seen is some people will do the freestanding tub and have the supply come out of the wall.
Yeah, kind of like a pot filler.
Yeah, and I mean I've seen it just where it's like a normal tub. It's just the tub slides close enough, and I guess it maybe jut out far enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can spend as much money as you want.
Exactly.
Well, Josh, I appreciate you calling in and giving us an update. Go Fish Office. Hello there. What's up, Go Fish Office?
What is this?
I don't know who that is, but I love your avatar. And hey, I haven't played Go Fish in a long time, but Josh, go fish.
That's
but
right.
Yeah, so keep us updated. If you're interested, Josh, send me what you like, and I can get you hooked up with Kiki, and we can try to
Yeah.
get you something designed and get you going, because this is a fun project that we're all doing together.
Yep.
It's like the first tile happy hour project. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
It's coming along.
Yeah.
I appreciate you lighting a fire under me, man. Getting me on the show. I mean, like, it was what? I haven't done anything for a year and a half, and then come on the show.
But yeah, once it gets on the internet, people are seeing if you're lazy or not.
It's true. Like, well, might as well do something.
Yeah. Thank you. Go Fish came up on your YouTube, supporting friends. We support you too.
All right.
They're going to share you out. I think you mean shout out. But so Josh, keep in touch. Let me know what's going on. We'll help. And for everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. And it was fun to kind of talk technical stuff. John, we look forward to seeing you soon. Next week, I'll be in Panama. So I don't know if I'm going to do something live from Panama, or John's going to take it solo, or it'll be a rerun. No say, amigo.
Jump in the canal, man.
I'm hoping to go see the canal while I'm there. I've never been to Panama, and I'm excited about going and about seeing our team down there. I'm actually going to do 2 days of classes there, and I'm going to try to stream some of that. So stay tuned. If you follow me on all the social stuff, stay tuned and see if you can egg me on there and have some fun with our customer service team down in Panama. And if we don't see you next week, we'll see you the week after next. And then soon we got coverings coming up, which if you haven't heard, we're broadcasting live from coverings on Wednesday. And that's in Atlanta, Georgia this year. If you are in coverings, please come say hello. Let's get a picture together. And I want to socialize a little more than I did last year. Last year, I was so worried about the show and trying to figure out how to get it done. This year, it's going to get done regardless. And I want to say hello to everybody out there and see you. So as always, let's keep learning together and tile the world.